developer of the Handmaster Plus. One of the main reasons we developed the product was to combat and prevent carpal tunnel syndrome. So today we're going to talk about carpal tunnel syndrome. The first thing is, what is it? And very simply, it's easy to look up on the internet, but I will tell you that the carpal tunnel syndrome the carpal tunnel, is just distal to your wrist. So if you follow it up a little bit, if you were to put the thumb and the finger together, where the crease, where the cleavage is basically where the carpal tunnel is. Now it's made from the bones of the wrist, form its base, and the top of it is formed by a ligament that comes across. Okay? So that is the carpal tunnel itself. The space within that is the carpal tunnel. It's about as big as a thick index finger. Okay? Carpal tunnel syndrome, very simply then, is any situation or condition that would compromise the space of the carpal tunnel. Through the carpal tunnel there is 9 flexor tendons and also the median nerve. So anytime the space of the carpal tunnel is compromised, that can put pressure on the median nerve, and that is what carpal tunnel syndrome is. Okay? So the main situations that when we see compromise in the tunnel itself is when the tunnel itself collapses. Okay? The most common things you see is anybody that uses their hands, especially in small motions. Surgeons are very common, dental office is very common, computer is very common, working a mouse, very, very common. Bartenders are very common, beauticians, anything we're working with, crafts, but it can be sports, music as well is very, very common to see it. So what we see is that anytime we are flexing the muscles of the hand, and that's part of our daily routine, you can just see that the carpal tunnel collapses itself. So in those situations, we want to oppose that by strengthening the muscles that open the hand, and that's what the Handmaster Plus exercise does. The second situation you see where carpal tunnel is common is when there's poor blood flow, and the prime example is in pregnant women. So what we want to contribute to try to combat or prevent carpal tunnel syndrome is make sure that we're taking the hand through its full range of motion, which I will show you that right now. So this is the Handmaster Plus, very easy to get a hold of. I'll tell you some information at the end of this video. What we have people do is to put it on their thumbs and fingers, just like this, to keep the wrist straight, and they're going to just have one exercise. Squeeze against the hand, open and spread against the cord. So it's just one continuous exercise. When I squeeze here, I strengthen the 9 muscles that close the hand. When I open and spread, I strengthen the 9 muscles that open and spread the hand. Now these muscles are super important when it comes to carpal tunnel syndrome, because as you can see, when I strengthen these muscles, that carpal tunnel is nice and wide. Okay, so I'm going to oppose the things that I do during the day by strengthening the extensor tendons. So I just have the person, anybody that's in a job where it's red flagged for potential for carpal tunnel syndrome, which I would say computer work, production line, clerks, checkout counter, dental offices, surgeons, hairdressers, bartenders, anywhere where the carpal tunnels, where regular flexing of the fingers and of the hands is common, that's where you see carpal tunnel. So what we do is to train those people, to prepare them for their activity so that they can do it efficiently but also not work into injury. So we just have them do this continuous exercise. It only takes a couple of minutes a day, and you're going to see that we start to train the muscles that open the hand. We're also, as we do this, because we take the hand through its full natural range of motion, we're going to stimulate maximum blood flow, and that's another thing. We want blood flow through that carpal tunnel, and that's going to make sure that the pressure within that tunnel does not maximize and cause pressure on that median nerve. So Handmaster Plus is available through our website at doczac.com, doczac.com. It's available through our distributors or our brand partners as well, or you can also buy it online. I do recommend it highly for anybody that works in a profession like what we talked about, where there is a lot of repetitive flexion or repetitive gripping. If you have an office that has a lot of repetitive gripping, for example, a dentist's office, you can contact us. We're very good about supplying people with product for a little lesser price if you can buy them in volume, and also if there's companies where there's cashiers, we're more than happy. That's what we developed the product for, is to see if we can get these into these people's hands so that they can prevent these injuries that are so debilitating. So that's a little bit of information on carpal tunnel. Hope it helps.